back to another episode. I'm Gaston Rossato. This is Season 8, Episode 4.
And I'm Rossato. In this episode, we're taking a look at a 2020 Alfa Romeo 4C Spider.
That's right, Renzo, but like always, you cut it short. It's not any Alfa Spider 4C. Guys, we're talking about the Italia Edition. Only 15 cars ever produced for the United States, and we're looking at car number 1. Let's go into more specifics. But first, guys, before we kick it off, hit that subscribe button. Renzo, you and I, let's go for a drive.
So we're in the 4C, a car that I'm extremely excited about. It's a car that's always caught my attention. I've always wanted one. Super happy we have one and that we get to review it on the channel.
I love everything this car embodies, right? I mean, it's the true essence of an Italian sports car.
Yes.
And what you kind of envision, or that expectation of what that really means. It's such a basic car, and that's what I love.
Right.
This car, every car has a purpose, and it's always important to understand what that purpose is for every car. And this car has no other purpose other than this true driving experience.
Yep.
It's an enthusiast car because it has no practicality to it whatsoever. Sadly enough, Alfa has discontinued the 4C in 2020. So this is a 2020. The last year 4C, and it's a special edition car, probably to help, probably a tribute to, it's out the door, let's give it something special. It's so basic that it doesn't even have power steering. And you think, how can a 2020 car not have power steering?
That blows my mind. I had to do the research, but I'm pretty sure this is the only production car in 2020 that comes with no power steering.
Yeah. And it makes sense, there's nothing up front, there's
the
no
car
weight.
weighs nothing.
It's a very lightweight car.
Yeah, so I totally get it, and I feel, I haven't driven the car yet, it's going to give you more of that steering feel that you look for in a sports car.
It's a very direct steer. Alfa has that famous D&A, which is your different modes.
Right.
We have it in D, which is dynamic, which is equivalent to a sport mode. So I'm going to kind of leave it there to get the full aggression of the car. Although we're on public roads, we're not going to do anything crazy, but, a little pull here and there.
Exactly.
Suspension's nice and tight.
Yeah, so we have, in the center console, you have 4 buttons, one N, R, and then one that says A and M. So A and M is automatic or manual, first gear, which would be your drive, N for neutral, R for reverse. And we have the little tackle here, which is the DNA, which is the different modes of the car, which, how you mentioned, we have it in D at the moment.
And your fancy ass radio. It reminds me of the radios I would put into my cars in high school when you upgrade your sound system.
And high school for you was what, the late 90s, early 2000s?
Well, no, it was early 2000s. So we're talking, it looks like 20-year-old technology, which, I don't know, in a very strange way, I really, really appreciate.
Yeah, of course.
Because, again, the car is so basic, and where do you find that in today's world?
See what I mean? I'm going to want to drive this thing tomorrow.
You really feel that turbo.
Oh, it's incredible how quick that picked up. I'm very surprised with that. But that control, it's facing you, so the back part of it is actually towards my legs, which makes it a little uncomfortable, but I can deal with it.
But it's a driver-focused car.
Exactly.
It's a driver-focused car, all about simplicity. It's got cool little details, that Italian touch,
Look at that red stitching.
The red stitching on the dash. You got it all throughout the seats, the door cards.
The straps.
I love the leather straps to pull the door in.
And then you're surrounded by carbon fiber. I love it, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get back to the barn.
Lots of carbon fiber.
Lots of carbon fiber, which I love.
All right, let's check that turn radius here. No power steering. Such a short little car that does it with ease, of course.
Yeah.
Nice little kick.
Wow. Is that on automatic mode.
Yeah, it's automatic mode.
On the dynamic.
All dynamic.
It keeps that gear. It kept that gear.
The car pulls really nice. Not crazy, scary fast. It's more quick than anything else. But it's fun.
It's not.
It's appropriate for what the car is, for its size, for everything.
Yeah.
Definitely a sports car, no doubt.
That gearbox. This car must be an absolute blast on the track.
Well, they say it's a blast. They really do. They say it's an absolute blast.
That very stiff suspension. I'm not driving, but I just feel like you're just in control the whole time. The car is very stable.
It's not an overwhelming car at all.
It is a rear-wheel drive car. What I'm not seeing here is an option to turn off the traction control.
I don't know if that
does it even have traction control?
I don't even know if it has traction control. It's something we really need to look into.
Yeah. Look through the menu.
Yeah, it's quick. It's quick. It's a fun car.
That little turbo kicks in.
It's not scary fast, but I can see how this might be dangerous too.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's the size. I can see that illusion. I don't know. And you know, again, we're tall guys. I can do this. I fit. I want that extra inch just for the sake of complete comfort.
Yeah.
But for a fun drive or a track time, this is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Cross country driving, not so much. It's interesting how the paddles follow the steering wheel.
I was just looking at that.
There's always, different manufacturers have different thoughts about that, keeping the paddles fixed. I don't really think you should be shifting while you're turning, but this car does follow, and that's probably more of a error, just simply there's no space for the paddles otherwise. Just keep them on the wheel.
Yeah.
Probably knows from that, I would assume.
Do you have that squared off steering wheel, flat bottom steering wheel?
The flat bottom steering wheel I think is mostly for that extra space. You gotta understand the balance of this car.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Because
that
it could leave you. It could leave you looking the other way.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that.
All right, Renzo, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to before I get over so you can experience the wonderful drive.
All right.
Oh yeah, way different experience right here in the passenger side. Much tighter.
It is a lot tighter.
Much tighter. I wonder if my head is popping out of this frame here, this windshield frame.
For a second, I was afraid to lose my hat, but I fit right in there. It's a little rocket.
It's something special.
It
really is. I would call it even underrated, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like the go-to choice for a sports car.
It's not, but guess what? You put this and a C8 in front of me, I'm taking this any day. Eyes closed.
Two different things. V8 versus four-cylinder. But I think I'll take this over a Miata.
Oh yeah, that's not even a question. Yeah, I want one. Really bad.
What a drive, Renzo. We racked 12 miles on the making of this episode. 572 miles on the clock. only, yes. We'll talk about more about the specifics of this particular car. Lorenzo, tell us more about the 4C in general.
And before that, those 12 miles, each and every single one of them was a smile on my face. I don't doubt it. It was so much fun. Love the car. So the 4C was introduced in Geneva in 2013, production from 2013 to 2020. The Spider version wasn't introduced until 2015, and I think it's about a total of 9,000 cars were produced in total between those years.
Not a lot.
It is a mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, Italian sports car with a inline-four turbocharged, a 1.75 liter, very small engine that's transversely placed back there. And I'm surprised of how quick you pick up speed in the car.
Well, it's a power to weight ratio, right?
It is.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
You don't have to have big numbers as long as you weigh low. And
Exactly.
that car achieves a lot of that weight reduction just with all the carbon fiber that it has. I mean, look at this windshield frame.
Oh yeah, this
Pure
is
carbon fiber.
pure carbon fiber, exactly. So it is put together with a twin clutch transmission. It's actually very
And
impressive.
you feel that.
Yeah, that pop. So I think the biggest thing here is the way that this car is made, right?
Well, they call this the mini supercar.
It is exactly built like a supercar. So you do have that center carbon fiber tub with aluminum subframe for the rear and the front of the car. The tub alone weighs 143 pounds.
That's insane.
That's insane.
And that's essentially the structure of the car.
the chassis of the car.
And the rest is just body panels.
And then with the subframes and the engine mount, you're talking about 250 pounds. I mean, that's really
That's
insane.
engineering at its finest.
Yeah. So
what people might not know, carbon fiber comes in a lot of different grades.
Right.
And Alfa built this car with the highest possible quality of carbon fiber. And you see the finish, and you see the big grain on the finish.
The big weaves, yeah.
So the weaves, it's the highest quality possible.
Curb weight on the car is about 2,400 pounds, which is not a lot. It's a very impressive car. I'm super impressed with
The
this
design
car.
is beautiful. It's Italian. It's Alfa, a company that has more pedigree than any other manufacturer out there. Over 100 years of R&D, 100 years of design, and it all reflects here. In fact, if you look at the profile of this car, it's inspired by the Tipo 33, the Type 33, which is just an iconic supercar of its time, right? I mean, top, like it ranks in the GTO 250 category. And this car design elements are inspired from that car, bringing back some of that DNA, right?
Yeah.
Of course, Alfa, like we mentioned, discontinued this car in 2020. So this is a 2020, a last year car, Italia Edition, like we said before. And what does that mean exactly?
Right.
Not a whole lot, let's be honest. But it does come with this incredible blue color finish.
Misano blue metallic.
Misano blue metallic, which pops. Hopefully we can show that in this episode.
Yeah, and then you have with the front air intake and the rear diffuser are finished in piano black. I think it's a great contrast to the car. And the top obviously is black as well. Great combination.
Perfect combination. And it's only available in the Italia Edition. So
Yes,
you're not going to find this color in any other.
So let's talk a little bit more about the Italia Edition, right? Worldwide, there's said to be around 124 Italia Editions. In North America, there were 16 that were delivered, 1 to Canada and 15 to the US.
Right.
This is badged as 01, 15 in the center console. So we first believed that it was, all 15 were badged 01, 15.
Yeah, thinking 1 of 15.
Right, but that's not the case.
Yeah, I had a buddy who has one of these, and I called him. I said, before I bought this car, I said, send me a picture of your badge, and I believe he had car number 10 of 15.
Right.
So there, automatically we knew that we're looking at car number 1 for the United States.
And that has to have some kind of value. That's kind of special. It's kind of cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, what does it mean? That's up to every individual to decide what it means, but I think it's pretty cool, right? A one-owner car. This car came to us, and I've known about this car for months and months before we bought it. An Italian guy bought it brand new. He had these long-term plans with the car to keep it forever. Like a lot of times in life, circumstances change. He had to sell the car. He knows we're an Alfa freaks. He said to Gaston, I'm gonna sell this car, I want you to have it. Make me an offer. We did pay a premium, you know what I mean? A one owner with 500 miles, car number one, special edition, discontinued.
The last year of the 4C.
I had to have it, I had to have it. So here it is today. It comes from a great home originally. And you know, if you want to learn more or see a full gallery of photos, the link will be provided down below. The car is available for sale, of course.
I'm very happy that we've had this car on the channel. It's a car that I've been wanting to cross off my list. It, I think, met all my expectations and I think exceeded my expectations. Such an exciting car, and whoever takes this car home, there's no doubt in my mind that they're gonna love it. Whether I hope that they drive it, because I would, you know, I think it needs to be driven.
They will.
But also it can be a great collector car, knowing that it has only 500 miles, 1 of 15, special edition. Last year the 4C, there's, you know.
It's a collector car in that sense, but generally speaking, the 4Cs I think are gonna be classics.
Oh, for sure.
There's no doubt about it.
No
So,
doubt.
guys, we wanna thank you for joining us this week. Hit that subscribe button, please. We'll see you next week. I'm Gaston Rossato.
And I'm Rossato. Peace out.